which brings us to Olivia, the DMRs. Shorter fields here, not 70 teams per DMR. There's only, 15, 16 teams accepted into both of the girls and boys fields. So it was really, really cutthroat, and really you had to be the best of the best to get into these fields. So starting with the boys, we're going to preview 5 teams to watch. On the boys side, I'm going to start first with Severna Park of Maryland. Now, they aren't the 5th fastest team. They're right there in the middle, right around 8, but I do think they have a lot of talent. They enter with a mark of 10:22. And when you look at the roster, it includes Chris Kirchner, Jack DeBaugh, Eddie Sullivan, and Tyler Kennedy. I think we have a photo of Tyler Kennedy. They're going to make something happen, I think, in this relay. They're going to be in the mix somehow. Kennedy is someone who is very experienced. He's a 4:18 miler. He did that in April, I think, and he's also a Cornell signee. I think he can sort of bridge the gap and make them competitive down at the end of the line. Eddie Solomon, he's a senior. He's going to be important too. He's run 2:05 for 800 meters. Moving to the 4th fastest team, Fordham Prep of New York. They enter with a mark of 10:16.58. They include Dean Mayo, Jalen Santiago, Jack Gallagher, and Miles Hogan. I think Fordham's going to have to make a decision because if I'm not mistaken, Miles has also entered in the mile. You can only do one of these invitational events. So is Miles going to do the DMR or is he going to do the mile? I think they have to make a decision there. But regardless, if he's in the mix, Fordham is definitely one of those teams that's going to make a very strong effort. Hogan has gone 3:51 for 1,500. He's gone 4:07 for the mile indoors. He's their game changer, I think, in the DMR. So if you put Miles Hogan on the anchor, he's going to make something happen. Number 3 here is Ridgefield of Connecticut. Enter with a time of 10:16.38. They include Ben McColl, Ethan Walls, Ryan Donovan, and Steven Hergenrother. Hergenrother is an interesting guy. He's only a sophomore, but he's run times of 2:51 for 1K and 1:55 for the 800. So he might be that middle 800 meter runner to help get them sort of in that position. McCool has gone 4:28 in the mile and he's a senior. And Donovan has gone 1:26 for 600 meters and 2:37 for 1K. So they have some options, I think, on how they're going to set their lineup. Really got to figure out what that 1,200 meter leg is to start and then kind of work down from there. Corning, the number 2 seed out of New York, Painted Post, New York. Shout out to the New Yorkers out there. Ashton Bange, Lennart Jensen, Gabe Cornfield, Jack Grigorski is the lineup that they likely will go with. Grigorski is a senior. He's gone 1:58 for 800. 4:19 for the mile. Cornfield, 4:30 for 1,600 meters. He's got 2:40 for 1K. Bange, also a pretty good 1K runner. So I think they have some options really from that 1,200, that 800 leg. All these teams really are going to have to figure out who their 400 meter runner is, because you really, if you want a strong effort, you have to be somewhere, in that 50, 49 range, 48 range, if you really want to be competitive at that highest level. And then we're going to talk about this. Union Catholic, the top seed in the DMR. I think they're going to put together a special effort here. I mean, we both saw them at New Balance Nationals indoor. They finished second to Ridge in what was a national record, national record attempt by Ridge, reset the standard there. Union Catholic was only a couple seconds back, 9:55. They broke 10 minutes, which is huge. And they're going to go in with Miles Plummer, Nick Givon, Cadell Kashuzde, and Shane Brosnan. Plummer, he's a senior. He's going to Virginia next year. He ran in Arcadia 2 weeks ago, went 1:52 for 800 meters. Given has split 49 for 400. So there's your special 400 meter leg. Kajust, 2 minutes for 800, 4:27 for 1,600 meters. And then Brosnan is the guy who makes it all come home. He went 4:04. He split 4:04 indoors on that anchor leg against Jackson Barna. He's got 4:07 open. So I think Sean Brosnan, who is a Harvard recruit, is going to be a huge piece to Union Catholic if they want to make this happen. Olivia, the national record here is 9:49. I don't know if we're getting to that, but what are your thoughts here on overall in the DMR and what we could see?
This is going to be great. And I'm happy that you talked about that 400 meter legs. I think we've talked about this throughout the course of the indoor season, where I love watching the DMRs because it gets really interesting, especially when it comes to that speed aspect of it with that 400 meters. And so I think that's going to be very, very crucial here at Penn Relays next week. Again, coming with these DMRs, like who is going to be that 400 meter runner? They have to be running within, 50 seconds or faster. That would be ideal. But I think that's going to be the deal breaker here. But I'm excited to see what Union Catholic can do against all this amazing competition.
All right, well, let's bring up these slide of accepted teams here. 15 total on the boys side. It includes Union Catholic, Corning, Ridgefield, Fordham Prep. Menlo School is the 5th fastest team here from California. They're going to be good to watch. West Winds, Plainsboro, Central Bex West, Severna Park, LaSalle College, Lexington of South Carolina, coming all the way up from there. Westmore, Oklahoma team. St. Raphael Academy has a guy by the name of Devin Kipiego, who's been really good. Niskayuna of New York and Centennial of Ellicott City has a guy by the name of Antonio Camacho Bucks, really strong talent there. And Northport, New York, I think going to be a really fun race. I think DMRs have some of the best memories and some of the best races overall in history on the high school side of the Penn Relays. So I'm really excited to see what happens here.